Ginger, spice and everything nice. Grandma's legendary SUKKU MALLI coffee, but I'm twisting it. So, forget dalgona. Now, let's move on. You're watching The Spice Table, Season 2 on the Diao's channel. SUKKU MALLI coffee. Ingredients: ground coffee, dried ginger, and coriander seeds. This is a very traditional preparation, and my grandma is going to start off by dry roasting the ginger for about 5 minutes. Once you see charred marks on them, you can remove them, set them aside to let them cool for a bit, and the next step is to dry roast the coriander seeds. It will take 2 to 3 minutes. Once it starts turning a bit golden brown and starts smoking up. There we go. Now remove those from the flame and let them cool in a container. My grandma has been doing this for so many years. She probably learned those from her grandparents. SUKKU MALLI coffee is a South Indian version of a black coffee, and it's really good for your health. Before we grind the spices into a powder, it's important to note that dry ginger is really tough. So you need to use pestle and mortar and pound them until they crack up and become flaky. With that done, put everything in a dry mixer. Add in the toasted coriander seeds, and now you're going to grind that until it becomes a powder. Wonderful, that's done. Our recipe is almost done. Now let me talk about the coffee. Sometimes we buy coffee beans, especially if you're visiting a place where you can find good Java beans or Arabica beans, or in Malaysia, we like to buy loose coffee found in mini markets. Those are really good. I can't give you brands, but explore and find what you like. If you think that black coffee powder is really good for you, use that to mix. That's about 2 cups of coffee powder, and all those spices would come to 3/4 cups. You can store them for a long time if it's dry and placed in a cool spot. So how do you make SUKKU MALLI coffee? Pour some water into a saucepan and add 1 tablespoon of coffee powder. Swirl that around and bring it to a boil for about 3 to 4 minutes, and add in 1 to 2 teaspoons of sugar depending on how you like the sweetness of your coffee. Now in a mug, strain the delicious fragrant black coffee, and there you go. Nice and fragrant and hot. That is SUKKU MALLI black coffee, grandma's classic drink. Second recipe: pour in about 2/3 of low-fat milk, and remember that coffee that we boiled? Just add 1/3 into this cup and add how much sugar you want. Give it a good mix, and there you have ginger latte, low-fat milk for a light drink. The third recipe: I want you to boil 2 tablespoons of coffee powder with just about 3/4 cups of water, and you will get a thick espresso-like liquid. Look at that, that's really thick. Okay, no sugar, and add in a bit of full cream milk, and the cherry on top is some delicious cocoa powder. This one has no sugar. It's bitter, but it's so delicious. SUKKU MALLI, or ginger flavored maraschino, an Italian drink with an Indian twist. The next recipe: 1 egg yolk. Now don't be afraid, it's fine. About 1 to 2 teaspoons of good honey. Give that a nice swirl. and add in some hot black coffee with about 1 to 2 teaspoons of sugar in it. And now you have to really mix it up and froth it up. The egg yolk, yeah, it may be off-putting, but trust me, it turns into a creamy custard with the coffee. So you will have Kaise Milan, an Austrian speciality. Now for cold drinks, I want you to pour the thick espresso-like coffee, just about a few tablespoons, and add in some sugar. Mix that until well diluted. Add in some ice, and guess what? Add in ice cream soda. Oh yes. And my final recipe, this one is really my favorite. The juice of 1 lime, throw in some ice cubes, and add in normally brewed coffee like the one for the SUKKU MALLI black coffee with a bit of sugar in it already, and pour in some low-fat milk and let that swirl by itself, and you have a masa grande, lime, coffee and milk with a ginger twist. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and do it. If you love ginger, you love coffee, this is something that's for the books. Enjoy!